Hey, good morning, guys. Hope you guys are having a great. It's Wednesday here in East Texas. It's raining. Gonna have some April, April showers bring May flowers, which is great. It can rain on Wednesday anytime it wants to because I play golf on Thursday. Got the lovely little dot going on the head this morning. But we want to get in and talk to you about a few things, guys. There's a couple things I want to go. I'll go over a little bit on farming today, but I'm going to go over some things as we get Cheryl Blanton, and I want to thank Cheryl. There was a moron out of a Keller Williams office in Austin that obviously hadn't been trained, that was posted on a page on a wall that if an agent asked on a multiple offer situation, if an agent asked what the other offers were, you had to tell them the details, what was being offered. That's absolutely wrong. Okay. Matter of fact, I want to make this clear. So when you get in a multiple offer situation, under standard of practices, under the code of ethics, which we all go under, 1-15, realtors in response to inquiries from buyers or cooperating brokers shall, with the seller's approval, this is with your seller's approval, disclose the existence of offers on the property. You just have to disclose with the seller's permission that there are offers on the property. You cannot give details. That puts somebody at an unfair advantage. So, I mean, how would you like it if you offered $200,000 on a house and you're about to present offers and somebody calls and says, well, what's the other offer? Well, we'll go 205. Well, do you go back and tell the other person 200 that did 200? Hey, we had another offer and this, and then you get in an auction situation, and you can't do that. That's illegal in Texas unless you're an auction house and it's set up for auction. Okay. If they do ask, you also have to disclose if you're double siding the deal or someone in your offices. You can say, absolutely, I'm double siding the deal. Okay, we do have intermediary status in Texas. If they try to get snippy with you over that, tell them their broker's welcome to call your broker. There was an idiot in Austin that honestly, this guy, he needs training. Okay, I cannot believe, Cheryl and I couldn't believe it came up. She was like, you got to be kidding me. Terry, you want to clarify this? And so I immediately went and found it because I had read it the other day. So under section 115, with the seller's permission, you can disclose we do have multiple offers. You cannot, however, disclose the terms of those offers if one's cash, one's finance, the amount, any of it. The only time you have to disclose anything is if you're doing a contingency offer. You can say this one is due to close this date. That way they can fill in the contingency paperwork. So do that. So you want to make sure that's it. And you need to disclose, if asked, if you're double siding it or someone in your office is. And that's not a big deal. Texas allows us to double side, and it really doesn't matter. They're gonna, you'll have another, well, that's not fair, it's not. And I will tell you guys, we're getting a lot as inventory gets tight. People forget that our fiduciary responsibility is to the buyer and the seller. A lot of times, our responsibility to be fair to all parties. And then what this guy was advocating on Facebook will get him in trouble. Will get his office sued. Will get his broker sued. And so the situation is you be fair to all parties. Okay. Had a situation last week where I had a broker out of Dallas call and demand to know what the winning bid on one of our highest and best was. It was pretty interesting. I said, you know that we don't have to disclose that, and we will not disclose that. Well, I'll do this, and this. I said, knock yourself out. You're not entitled to know the personal business of anybody else. And what you may term to be a good offer, the seller may have determined to be the wrong offer for them. There's a lot of factors goes in. And you don't have to go highest and best. You're not mandated to go highest and best. If your seller looks at 4 or 5 offers and one of them clearly stands out, okay. If I'm looking at offers, I'm using the word 200. I'm using 200,000. I know you guys know that's right now that's tough, but $200,000 house, and I'm putting this on the public page. And the reason I'm putting this on the public page is I want the public to know they're welcome to go and look at this. If the seller has on a $200,000 listed house, okay. Let's say one of them comes in FHA and offers $225,000. Well, FHA, the whole thing has to appraise for $225,000. So agents are getting where they're going to offer way over, and then they pull this. And we know, I do the same thing, okay? We know how it works. Well, it didn't appraise, and that appraisal is going to stick with it. So you either deal with us or you deal with somebody else. So do you really have an offer? If you listed it right, did the comps right, the houses, if you listed for 200, might be worth 201. Might be worth 199, might be worth 205, 195. So that right there, that's just to get the seller's attention. And then when it comes back in at a price for 209, the sellers go, I'm losing $16,000. No, you're not. You're getting $9,000 over what you asked for it. do the deal if it's a good agent, a good lender, and this, that, and the other, and everything else in the deal. So when you focus on price, you have to remember, is this the price we're going to finally get? But I've seen instances recently where a cash offer that was $5,000 to $7,000 to $8,000 less was accepted because it would close in 2 weeks. They had proof of funds in the bank. They had this, that, and the other. I've also seen an instance where somebody offered cash on a house, had to sell their house, and their house didn't close on time, and it turned into a chaos. So it really wasn't a cash offer. They didn't have proof of funds. So you want to be careful. You want to be mindful. You don't have to automatically come back highest and best. You'll have agents all the time go, well, aren't you going to come back highest and best? No. Your client's got Chase Bank. These people had something else. Your client wasn't even in, and when you come back, you may have 2 offers. You may get 5 offers, and you may have 2 or 3 offers that are worth talking about. You may just want to go highest and best on those 2 or 3 offers. The others, well, this was with this bank. This was here. These people wanted to close there. They may not even be in the fight. All right? So do what's right for your customer. Win-win. Be respectful. I don't care if the other agent on the other end is not. Send them a text or an email and just say, thank you for submitting an offer on our house. The seller has accepted another offer. That's all you have to disclose with the permission of your seller. You have to have the permission of your seller, and just let them know and be courteous. And you would hope they would do the same. But I'm going to tell you, it's getting, as inventory gets tight, we're getting dumber and dumber agents. I had a talk with one of our board leadership at one of our boards that I'm a member of the other day, and this guy was like, it's unbelievable what we're seeing. It is unbelievable what we're seeing. And we're seeing it from people that should know better, okay? This guy in Austin was so convinced, and everybody's like, you're out of your mind. And he's, well, this is the way, I told Cheryl and I said, it says right there, it's in the very first number 1, section 1. So guys, you have to have your seller's permission to even disclose there's multiple offers. Seller's going to be fine with saying that, okay? Be careful when you get multiple offers. What's really an offer that's going to make it to the closing table? Don't get excited about offers that are over list. And then they attach an amendment that it must appraise. If it's FHA, it has to appraise. You don't have any options. Conventional usually has to appraise for the loan amount. So if somebody's putting 20% down and they offer 5 or 10% over list, you probably got a good offer there. Cash is always king if it'll close, and they've got cash in hand right now, not cash proceeds from another sale. These folks had the one we're talking about that had a lender that was horrible. Wouldn't communicate with anybody, everything, push the closing date. Guys, I'm going to tell you what we're finding out is the buyer, the seller, and the real estate agents are the only ones that look at a contract closing date and take it serious. Everybody else wants to quote the contract, but then they don't do any, we'll just extend, we'll just do this. You need a lender that looks at that date and says, I have to hit it. You need a title company that says, I have to hit it. We had a title company last week says, oh yeah, we can't get to it for a day or 2, but we'll get you closed eventually. The lender had the stuff dated. The lender would have had to go back and redraw docs. We had to get on the phone and call that title company and said, print the docs. I'll close it if I have to. And, we've got notaries. We'll take it someplace else and get it closed. You guys won't be seeing any more business recommended from us because you don't take these things serious. This is getting ridiculous in our business. That what happens when business gets either bad or really good, the worst among us begins to show. And I'm sorry for that. I'm very sorry for that. But we will continue to try to be the best among us. So guys, keep in mind, you can disclose to other people the existence of multiple offers with your seller's permission. You must disclose if they ask. If they ask, I don't want to get a phone call. Listen to the whole statement. If they ask, okay? If you're double siding it or someone in your office is, and there's nothing wrong, I proudly say you're absolutely right on double siding it. One thing we are seeing a ton of coming soons out there that is illegal, okay? You have 24 hours, business hours. So if they do it on a Friday afternoon, they have no money. Hi, Kyle, good morning. They had till Monday morning to get it in. If they do it on a Friday morning, they had till Monday morning. We're seeing coming soons. I just take a screenshot of it and send it to the local board and say, got a coming soon, this is illegal. That you literally could file complaints all the time. They're not being trained properly. We do not. If you put a sign in the yard, you have 24 hours to get an MLS. If you put it on Facebook, you have 24 hours to get it in MLS. If your client puts it on Facebook, I just listed my house with so-and-so and so-and-so, you have 24 hours to put it in MLS. You do not have an option. Good morning, Becca. How's Houston? I got my Houston folks are coming in. Good morning, daughter. Love you. Tell my boy hi. Guys, you've got to get it in the MLS. You've got to get it out there so that you're fair to everybody in the marketplace. We have agents, and I'm seeing it with franchises who are supposed to be the training franchises. I don't know what the hell they're training, but basic stuff like what, hey, Aaron, good morning, man. How's your lovely wife and all them kiddos? The basic stuff like disclosing offers the right way with the seller's permission, and basic stuff, out there, like coming soons that aren't allowed anymore are getting, they're getting prevalent, okay? It's just like everybody ignores the rules, and they're due the coming soon so they can hope to double side it. Doesn't work that way. They're gonna get themselves sued, all right? We don't wanna be a part of that. If you put a sign in the yard, you have 24 hours to get an MLS, all right? I don't care about business days at Miller Homes Group. If you put it in on a Friday, all right, if you put a sign in the yard on Friday afternoon, I expect it in the MLS over the weekend. I don't want to get a call on Monday going, hey, here's what's going on. Got my grandson in Houston just killing it. We sent him a new bat. Kid broke his old bat. So we sent him a new one, and he's killing it. So I love it. Baseball season's good for the young ones. I don't care much for the big guys, but the situation is really simple. Do what's right. Do always what's right. Yeah, Kyle's right. They had a listing agent tell them they had just closed and the property's still active in MLS. We got agents being lazy. Okay, guys, I could literally have Carly researching and filling out track complaints 8 hours a day. Hi, Becky. Good morning, Becky. She's rocking it. Becky woke up one morning and said, I want to do real estate again, and man, she's killing it. Congratulations. Had a grandbaby, and I don't blame her. I probably, if I had a grandbaby right there close to me, I probably wouldn't be working much. I would have probably took a little time off. So Becky's absolutely, if you ever need a referral help, she's the best there is. But guys, I want to tell you, as things get tighter and inventory gets tighter, it's great. Now, I want to tell you, be prepared for this. And you didn't hear it here first, probably, if you've been paying attention. But in about 18 months, you're going to have a rash of foreclosures coming. All these people that have pushed their payments and did this and that, we had people take advantage. If you had COVID-related income loss, okay, you got to defer your payments in some cases and rent. We had people taking advantage of the rent that never, Sandy and them had a lady working at a hospital that never was affected income-wise by COVID, period. But she took advantage of the rent deferment. Now, could they have taken that and gone and fought that and all that? Absolutely, but it just wasn't worth the trouble. But you're going to have people who have taken that deferment and didn't get employed back with the good jobs they had and not going to be able to make their house payments. So be ready for an influx of foreclosures. I would say they will start hitting next, the end of the year, into next spring. So we'll have inventory. We'll have inventory going into next summer, but it'll be distressed inventory, and it'll be inventory. I hate to be in a position where I'm having to save somebody, but we'll be a part of that in the markets we're in. So I just want to make that clear to you. We've been very, very blessed. We're up over 100 units, and we gain some agents and we'll lose some agents. Don't kid yourself. This time of year, we'll lose 5, 10 agents, and we'll add 11 or 12 agents. We've got some great fresh talent coming on board. But we just absolutely, good morning, Rhonda. How are you this morning? Rhonda Lasley's with us this morning. Guys, you're welcome to log on. I'll try to pick them up. You're welcome to ask questions. I'll try to pick them up the best I can. If I can't, we'll go from there. But I want you to understand there are going to be more and more of these type of things. I want to also tell you, I've got an idea for MHG Life I'm going to go over with Carly today. Carly's come in and she has bailed into MHG Life. As you've noticed on the videos that I post, a lot of times I don't tag them with what the subject line is. She's going in and listening to all these videos and tagging them, giving you a subject line. The videos that are on Miller Homes Group on the Facebook, she is going to be transferring. They'll still be there. She's going to take copies and put them on MHG Life. So if you haven't joined MHG Life on on YouTube. Please go follow that, hit follow, click the bell so it'll notify you when new stuff's coming in. We have a marketing idea for that that's going to help you, but it's not intrusive to your people. I've just got a great idea about some things that's been validated by someone that's done it before. And you learn from people that have come before you. So I want you to be cognizant of the changes that we're coming in. We are growing. We're very proud. Denise and I are very proud to have had the assistance that we've had from the last few years. And make no mistake, they did a great job for us. But they also do real estate, and their real estate careers were taking off. And so the decision was made mutually that they needed to devote time for what we paid. They needed to devote time to the real estate career. So bless them. We want them to go on and have a great one. We're bringing in some assistance. We're redefining the workload. We hadn't done it in a while because, to be honest with you, we had assistants that we didn't know when they could be here and when they couldn't because of their real estate career. The ones we're going to have now, we know when they'll be here to service you, so we can give them a workload that's consistent. And that, literally on Carly, her first day, I was playing golf. We threw a box in the office and said, set up your own computer. Didn't look back. I told her what her job was. She started grabbing logins, going into YouTube, doing this, started making agent lists, things like that. It will take a while to catch up because she doesn't have the real estate experience, but let me tell you something, she has the want to and she has the hustle. I'm very proud to have her. Jazz will be on here in a week or two for Denise. We have Tina in here, who has a multitude of experience, has worked with me forever. Her husband is building a house. We really can't afford her, but she gave us a deal to keep from being bored, so we absolutely love it. We got 3, and the goal is to keep 3 or 4 as we go forward so that we can better serve you guys. Now, we're at 109, 108, 109, 110. We'll dip down close to 100, and then we'll take off again. We'll lose some folks. We'll lose some folks that'll probably surprise you. Happens every year. When we get a growth spurt, we have some folks that go, it just isn't the same, or they think they can do it easier, or they this, that, and the other, and we bless them, and we want them to go on, and we want them to have a very good real estate life. We do have a new policy here at Miller Homes Group, just in case you know. If you leave, if you get out of the business, if you decide, look, I got out of the business, I'm going to college, or I'm going to put my license on hold, that's fine. We'll talk to you about coming back and most likely welcome you back. But if you leave and go to another brokerage, I'm sorry, you won't be welcome back. You could be a friend the rest of our life, but you will not be welcome back to the company. I just get tired of people trying to make us a second choice. Or if you move to an area where we're not, we're going to use common sense. If you move to an area where we're not located, okay, and eventually, we're not going to be there. We let talent drag us to areas, but you may want to go to an area that we're not in and have no plans of being in, and I may refer you to someone, or you may find a really good broker there, and we want you to do your very best. All right, now we're going to talk about farming a little bit. And I'm going to leave this on the public channel, and the reason I'm leaving it on the public channel is I want the customer to know what you're trying to invest in them in order to for you to be successful, and for them to have someone that cares about them and their market. Okay, guys? There's 2 kinds of farming, and this is basic. I'm not going to go into it in depth, all right? But there's 2 kinds of farming out there. Most people, when they assume they're going to farm something, they choose a neighborhood, and I'll tell you right off the bat, most people choose too big a neighborhood. But they'll choose a neighborhood, and they start doing this, and they do something for a couple of months, and nothing happens, and they quit. Been there. I've been that guy. I've done that. Okay? Didn't like doing it. I hated farming until I found things that I like doing in farming. So in today's world, you have 2 kinds of farming. All right? You have the internet, your leads, your Facebook, all of this stuff that creates things for you. And I'm going to tell you, I want you to decide what you like doing, and why would I go farm? Okay, I'm not an artist as far as painting, so I'm not going to go farm wine and paint folks, or I'm not going to do, because it's not something that interests me. All right, Denise is the plant person. I'm not a plant person, so I'm not going to be on the horticulturist sites farming those type. So what I want you to do is I want you to find things that you enjoy, that you bring something to the party. If you're a golfer, you may enjoy communicating with golfers, and they enjoy buying houses, okay? I play golf. I like music. I love networking with those people. Musicians are mostly broke, but that's okay. What do you like doing? If you have children, you have, soccer practice, you have all of these things. But here's the deal. A lot of agents, my farm is so many thousands of people. Start small. Okay. I'd love to hear you farming 1,000 people neighborhood or whatever. Take 50 or 100. 50 or 100. Take 50 or 100 houses. Put 100 to 150 names in a database. Something that you can manage easily. And every Monday, start your Monday morning with a cup of coffee, your iPad, whatever you want to do. Start your Monday morning with a cup of coffee and iPad, and let's talk to your folks. Okay. Don't make it all about business. I get sick to death of opening up my Facebook and all I see is a picture of somebody, okay, talking about how great they are, or how great this team member is, or how great that person is, or how great this and that is, okay? One of the worst about it, okay, I pulled them up the other day in the MLS. They have 5 listings and they act like they're just, God's gift to real estate. Thank God they weren't at our office. But, and they're hard to deal with, this, that, and the other. But, in a tight market, the way they do business wears thin. So guys, if you want to do business with me, here's the way I like to do business, okay? And think about if you don't like to do business the same way. Got somebody who likes to play golf with me, this, that, and the other, all kinds, that type of deal. And by the way, he sells cars. I used to play golf with guys. I sold houses. I play golf today with guys. I've sold their houses. I've helped them buy houses and do that. But our relationship's based on golf. I just happen to sell real estate. I'm interested in them. I'm interested in what they are as people. I'm interested in helping them. When they've got an issue, they call me. Because I value their friendship more than I do their business. If they went to another real estate agent, would I be upset? Wouldn't be upset. Might have my feelings hurt, but for one reason or another, they didn't want me to do their business. So don't ever yes, you're going to get mad at first, but sometimes people just don't want you to know their business, okay? So find things you like doing, get involved with people, and you know what they're doing, Dave's an accountant, okay? Well, don't you think I'm going to use Dave if I have an accounting issue? Okay. Bob Malden, who does most of our filming for our MHG, does all of our filming for MHG Happy Hour. Him and I've done television shows together. We've got a fantastic relationship. He's currently, okay, getting ready to buy a house. Him and his wife, they just had a beautiful baby. Set him back a little bit, getting ready to buy a house. I'll help him personally because he's a personal friend. Okay. That's one of those. I don't compete against you, but it doesn't matter. If Bob used one of y'all, if Bob said, Terry, you just don't have the time, well, we're going to give you this agent, we're going to give you that agent. They'll take care of you. Bob, how's this? What's going on? This, that, and the other. It's amazing. Bob's oldest son was applying for a job, a great young man. He asked me if he could use me for a personal reference. That meant more to me than having the young man buy a house from Miller Homes Group. When you put your life, their life, and the way they do business, good morning, Audra, and the way they do business ahead of business comes. I used to drive all over the country, fly all over the country, and then my wife at the time would go, well, how'd you like the Grand Canyon? I don't know, it's dark when I came through there. Well, how'd you like that? It's dark when I came through there. When I started making money? When I go into a dealership and the dealer would go, he'd see my golf clubs in the back of the vehicle, and he'd go, you play golf? Yeah. Well, what do I got to buy today for us to take off and go play golf? I don't know. I'd be there with a rep. I was a supervisor. Put my guy with your guy. Tell him to buy something. I'll tell my guy to write the orders. Let's go play golf. We didn't talk business when we played golf. I used to play golf with guys. I was a member of a country club. Used to play golf with guys. And we'd be out there and they'd be like, okay, we'll talk about real estate, this and that. And I'm like, we're playing golf. When we're done, I'll buy you a beer or a burger or something and we'll talk about that. I want them to know me as a person because people like doing business with people that think like they do, okay? If you're always beating them with business, and if all they ever see is the picture on Facebook of you bragging about how great you are and this, that, and the other, you got a problem. One of our best agents, okay, and I'm going to brag on her a little bit, Heidi Hitt. She's back here. This right here is her little sold it sign, okay? Heidi will post something every now and then about a house that's for sale or one that just sold. But most of the times, like, I'm in Dallas at the Ranger game. I'm at the Cowboy game. I'm here. I'm there. You know, those are the type of things. Yeah, exactly. Angela, good job. Clients will choose you simply because of who you are. And that's who I want to do business with. So when I'm farming a neighborhood, I used to farm a neighborhood. I'd run around in my golf cart because I live in a golf community. If somebody was unloading mulch that day or unloading plants, I'd stop and help them. And like, oh my God, thank you. I'm Terry Miller. I live right around the corner. And well, what do you do for a living? I sell real estate, but today I'm unloading mulch with you. All I'd have to say. So when you're going through and you're farming, virtual farming, which is what I'll call it, and you can do more of those. Every Monday morning you're going to sit down with your cup of coffee. You have to time block this, because if you say, well, I'll get to it sometime Monday. No. You'll do it Monday from 8:30 to 10, period. Period. Don't schedule a closing. Don't schedule anything. And here's why I say period, no excuses. Okay? If you were having, and I know this is extreme, but if you were having heart surgery Monday at 8:30, would you miss? Would you? I'll get done sometime the time during the day. I was busy, you know. I was doing laundry, and I scheduled a closing during that time. Oh, well, we'll have heart surgery. It's the heart of your business. Leads are the heart of your business. So do the right thing. Block that time. Maybe I say Monday morning because it gets your juices going for the week, okay? And because that's the most sluggish time in the world for real estate agents. They showed all day Saturday. They showed part of the day Sunday. They tried to have some family time Sunday afternoon, and they wake up Monday morning and they've got a work hangover. They may have another kind of hangover, but they definitely have a work hangover, okay? And so you're sitting there and your brain's just, okay, get yourself on automatic pilot. Make it a habit, not a hobby. All right. If you do it every Monday, it's a habit. If you do it occasionally on Monday, it's a hobby. Make it a habit, not a hobby. Let me make that very clear to you. Okay. So you get up and you're like, hey, you know what? I saw a motivational message last week, or it's going into spring and we got all this hay fever stuff around. I got something that, you know, I saw something that will help, you know, help keep the stuff off your decks and do this kind of stuff and all that. I'm going to send that out, okay? And so you send out, hey, here's a recipe for a spring salad. Here's something if your plants, after this 6 below zero day we had, be careful not to take too many plants out, because I, for one, had some that look dead that are blooming now, okay? So, and just write them a little message. And then at the end, by the way, Terry Miller, Miller Homes Group, real estate. Let them know you're in real estate, okay? Every Monday. Virtual farm. Well, I don't know how many emails I got. Get emails from anybody, everybody you can. I don't care. Grab an email from your doctor. Grab an email. I don't care if it's business emails. Let them unsubscribe. If they hit unsubscribe, take them off the list, but keep adding to that list. Every week, tell yourself, I have to add 10 names to my virtual farm. My virtual farm. Okay? I see it all the time where an agent says, I just don't have time. And you go look at their social media feed and they're going to go, oh my God, okay, did you watch NCIS last night? It was so great. Well, you spent an hour watching a television show. You could have had your iPad up in your lap adding a name while that was going on. You see what I'm saying? Do you have time? Yeah, you have time. Okay, manage your time better, but make it a habit, not a hobby. So I say Monday, pick your day, but I'd prefer Monday because it gets your week started off the right way. You feel like you've engaged, okay? How soon do you get something off your virtual farm? Oh my God, who knows? Could be immediately, could be months, okay? You can put a little tag down at the bottom if you're interested in selling or buying real estate. I'd love to help you. I'd do that and the other, okay? But guys, I'm going to tell you, there's another thing I have to tell you. If you're going to put your picture on stuff, look like your picture. I see some stuff out there, and fortunately not from us, but I see some stuff from agents. They put their picture on them. If you saw them in Brookshire's, you couldn't identify them. They're using a picture that's 15 years old. All right, they've lost or gained weight, they've changed their hair, they've done this. Be consistent with what you got. I've got a picture up on one of my sites. It doesn't look anything like me. It's 10 years ago. God, it was a great picture, but it's not me anymore. So I got to get that taken down. So, but make sure if you're going to do that somebody can recognize you. Okay, be kind, be nice. But your virtual farm consists of names you put in regularly. And I think the way I would do it if I was you, every Monday morning, I would sit down and say, I have 10 emails to put in to get on this week's email list. I put my emails in first. If you drink coffee, go get your second cup of coffee, sit down. What's the message this week? And then during the week, always look for messages, okay? Hey, did you see the new burger place that opened on Broadway this week? I had a chance to get by there and have a burger, and oh my God, it was great. Hey, did you see, if you have kids, okay, did you see the new place for the kids that opened up? Oh my gosh, they got a bounce house, they got this, they got that. They have, man, you don't have to take your kids to McDonald's. This is locally owned, and these people really care about the kids. It's clean, it's neat, et cetera, and so on. Stay away from negative. If it's negative, don't mention it, okay? You want to talk about the things that help enrich your customer's life. If you enrich enough people's life through your communication, you'll enrich your own business. But seek to do the first. The other happens by osmosis or accident, whatever you want to call it. Now, farming an actual physical farm. We're going to call it out there. We got door knockers. We don't take money or anything from anybody. But we do have door knockers from a home warranty company. You can go out and put your card on the back. It gives you something to talk about. We used to go out and farm. I would go to the local cleaners, the local this, the local that. I knew everything about my neighborhood. If somebody wanted to know where the closest hospital was, I knew. Somebody wanted to know about the schools, I knew. Don't farm a neighborhood you don't know anything about. The corner gas station that's owned by somebody, I want to know the guy. I want to know everything about him. I want to know where he's from, what he's doing. And yes, man, I might pay 4 or 5 cents more a gallon for gas. So what? He knows me. I might go up there, well, we ran out of Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi or whatever we drink. I might run up there and say, hey, I know I'm going to pay more for a 6-pack. I know I'm going to pay more for a 2-liter bottle. Don't care. I want the guy to know that I'm trying to keep him in business. And in turn, would you post a few of my business cards? Do you have a bulletin board? Do you have that? Okay, I'm going to know about him. We did that, and when the guy had a house, he had 2 houses he wanted to sell. Guess who got to sell them? Denise and I. So these are things that are fantastic to know. So when you do that, I'm going to tell you something. If you've got a neighborhood that's dominated by one realtor and has been for over 4 or 5 years, half the people love them and half the people don't. So don't be afraid of a neighborhood that somebody dominates, because there's somebody in that neighborhood that doesn't like for them. They feel like they keep the property values down. They don't represent them. They don't do this. Okay. If you're out, I've gone out, I do the door hanger. I did the door hangers from the home warranty company. I did the flags on the 4th of July. I'd go through the neighborhood. If I saw somebody unloading something, I'd stop and help them. You do whatever you need to do to farm your neighborhood and be consistent once a month with it. You can send them the recipe for the spring. You send them fall cleaning. You do this. Only once every 3 or 4 times do you put something about a real estate. Down the bottom of everything you put, there's something about real estate. I used to go out and get colored paper, and I'd get coupons. The guy at the corner gas station, the guy, if you spent $20 on a fill-up, he'd give you a free hot dog. Okay? If you wanted it, you got a free hot dog. Just bring the coupon in. The cleaners, if you brought in 3 dress shirts, you got the 4th one free. That was on the back. And I'd print on colored paper, and on the front might be a recipe or something like that. And then I'd go out and just hand bill them, okay? Don't get so big that you dread doing it. So that's why I say it might be 50, it might be 75, it might be 100 houses. What can you do every month and look forward to? Okay, guys, you cannot, if it becomes drudgery and it becomes a pain in the butt, you will not do it. But what value do you bring to this homeowner while they're walking to the trash with your stuff? While they're walking to the trash, what value do you bring that might help them? And you're going to get the call from the old codger, I don't be leaving stuff on my door and stuff like that. Okay, well, just take him off the list. Take him off the list. Do you want to do business with somebody like that? I don't. I'm not going to argue with him. Okay, just not going to happen. We have a lady in our neighborhood that didn't want anybody to park on the street in front of her house. The guy that mows yards on the street parked with his trailer. She's out throwing a fit. Next thing you know, the cops are there, and the cops are telling her, ma'am, it's a public street. He can park wherever he wants to. Okay? That wasn't necessary. All he had to do was pull it down in front of my house. I didn't care. So, I mean, guys, if they don't want your attention, don't feed into the neurosis, or you don't have to attend every fight or argument you're invited to, okay? So when it comes to farming, build your virtual farm, right? And then have a physical farm, a neighborhood you know everything about. Best burger place, best doctor, best place to get gas, all about the schools, okay? I live in a neighborhood. I don't farm my neighborhood because I do not compete with my agents. I think it's horrible that brokers compete with their agents, okay? So, or owners of companies compete with their agents. I mean, what are we stealing from? But I know about the elementary school at the end of our street. It's a good one. It's rated one of the best in Tyler. I'm very proud to be associated with that neighborhood. 2:30 every day. Don't go in that end of the street up there. You can't get through. But anyway, within a mile and a half of my house, I can find everything from junk food to gourmet food. It's amazing. If I wanted to farm my neighborhood, I know everything about it. But let me tell you what the payoff is on farming. You can't measure when it's going to pay off. You can't. All right? I'll tell you a story about a guy in Dallas. A guy in Dallas farmed, invested, did everything. He got up to about $30 million a year in sales. The guy's a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention his name. I was talking to him one day, and he said, "I've arrived." I said, "What do you mean you arrived?" He says, "Yeah, I don't need to do any more of that anymore. I've got to where I need. I can't handle any more business. Don't want to hire any more people. Don't want to hire any more buyers reps. Don't want to do any of this." I said, "Dude, you're making a mistake." Less than a year later, he called me, and he says, "My sales are less than half. I'm going to have to spend triple to get back to where I was." He had a business coach tell him, if it's not measurable, you've got to quit doing it. Wrong. Do what you like so you don't want to measure it. I play golf. I play the guitar. I don't measure what it does. I MC stuff. I'm going to MC something. I guess it's Memorial Day coming up for Linda Costner, and I'm looking forward to it. She asked me if I'd do it. I said, absolutely. Okay? I'm Terry Miller that day. I'm not Terry Miller, the broker of Miller Homes Group. I work for her that day. I'm going to be working for her. She's going to use that to advance her career and her brand in Van, Texas. But you know what? It isn't about real estate that day. It's about what we can give to the community. And oh, by the way, we do real estate. So when you start farming yourself, the way you do business, the things you like, and oh, by the way, I do real estate. Think about how that's going to be and how you're going to keep them. You got big teams that keep having to get bigger and bigger and bigger areas because they don't get a lot of repeat business because of the way they do business. They make it about them. If you truly, and sometimes you just have to tell a customer to go away. They're too demanding. But if you make it about your customer and you make it about doing things the right way, you'll sleep better at night. And when you get a customer that's not realistic, doesn't do business the right way, wants you to violate your code of ethics, wants you to violate the way you do business, okay? You know, you can tell them to go away. I tell agents every day, you need to fire that customer. You need to get rid of that customer, okay? Because the customer doesn't have your interest at heart. Guys, with me, with Terry Miller, it's always been about a win-win. If it ain't a win-win, I'm done with you. I will move on. I'm not going to play the little catty games with them, okay? Don't have time. Not going to play it with other real estate agents. Have real estate, every week I get a call from a real estate agent who's untrained from another brokerage, usually from a franchise, because the only thing they're focused on is making the franchise bigger, not making their agents bigger or helping their customers. They're about numbers. Talked to two agents last week. Hey, hi, Danae. Danae called me yesterday morning. I was on the golf course. We talked for about 3 minutes. I said, Danae, I'm playing golf. She went, bye. I mean, she got off the phone so quick. But that doesn't mean you're not all important, but Danae never calls. So when she calls, I better answer the phone. But if you make business about showing people who you are as a person, shining the light of your greatness and what you can do for the world, they're going to do business with you. I tell this story a lot. You know what? I carry Samsonite luggage. I had a hanging bag with Samsonite for years, and it broke, and I went and bought another one. I had a gray one. I went and bought a black one on my first trip out. The zipper broke, and I called Samsonite. I was pretty distressed. I said, look, I had one for a year. What are you guys doing? This, that, and the other. The lady said, sir, it's under warranty, this, that, and the other. She said, tell me about your other one. I said, oh, it's out of warranty. She said, please tell me about your other one. So I told her about it. She said, still have it? I said, yeah, I dumped it in the closet. The kids can use it, something like that. She said, would you bring them both? When are you? I said, well, I'm flying out of Southwest or DFW or whatever. And she said, would you drop them both off at this? It's by the airport. If you'll drop them both off, I'll take care of it. Well, I was traveling, and so I dropped it off, and I almost bought another bag while I was out. And I got home, and there were 2 boxes I told her I'd be home on Friday. I got home on Friday afternoon, and there were 2 boxes sitting there. And in one of them was a handwritten note from this lady. Said, we didn't feel the older one should have broken either, so we replaced them both. I like doing business with people like that. You know why people buy real estate from you? They like you. They can buy real estate from a whole bunch of folks. They can sell real estate through a whole bunch of folks. They do it through you because you make it comfortable, okay, and you make it easy for them. Do your best to help them in a way that makes them happy. If they get unreasonable, get rid of them and move on. You're the value, okay? You have some people that don't want you to make any money. I have no problem telling somebody I'm going to make this amount of money. And I tell everybody this story. I was telling it to Ed at the board here the other day. I tell everybody this story. It's like we sold a house in a hurry and somebody said, boy, you made a lot of money for not doing much. There's a story about a guy on an oil tanker, and they had engines went down an oil tanker, and it was trapped. They brought everybody in the world out. Nobody could get the thing fixed. And they found this guy, and he was haggard looking. This guy, man, looked like they had rolled him out from underneath a wine barrel. Comes out, walks in, looks at it, takes a sledgehammer, taps it, engine starts right up. Sends them a bill for $10,100. And the owner of the company says, that's outrageous. All you did was hit something with a hammer and it started right up. I demand an itemized statement. You guys see an itemized statement. Hitting engine with a hammer, $100. Knowing where to hit the engine with a hammer, $10,000. Okay? They're not paying for what happens on their deal. A customer is paying for your experience on every deal that came before that, so that you can walk them through the process of buying a house the best way possible. And when you get idiots like this realtor down in Austin talking about offers and the way they got, multiple offers and stuff, he's going to get his broker sued. Okay? But I'm quite sure, coming from Keller Williams down there, he knows how to recruit agents right and left because they train you good on that. But he didn't know anything about the code of ethics. All right? In the very first section, it tells you. So guys, be smart. Know the rules. Know what you're up against out there. Do not attend every fight you're invited to. But let me tell you, when it comes to farming, you have a virtual farm and you have a physical farm. Virtual farming requires a discipline that you can do every week, no matter how you're dressed, how you feel. You can do it every week. I don't care if you have COVID, you can still do it on Monday, okay? One of the kids is sick from school, you can still do it on Monday. It's the heart of your business. You wouldn't miss heart surgery on Monday, so don't miss this, okay? The other is a physical farm. You have to farm it once a month. You have to be consistent, okay? People are going to look for you. How do you measure it? You don't. Quit doing it, you'll measure it. Do something you love, you won't want to measure it. You won't want to measure it. Hope this has helped a little bit. Guys, it's been fun this morning. It's 9:45. The girls are going to start getting here in a minute, which means I'm going to get run out of here. If you guys hadn't figured out, I share this space now with a couple of very nice ladies. We want you guys to, you'll be seeing more from Carly. You'll see more and more involved. She went to lunch with Jen Shelton and I in a recruit last week. She's going to fit right in. We're very proud to have her. Very proud to have who we've had. Glad they've moved on and getting their real estate careers cooking and baking. It's fantastic out there. We're going to add some agents. We're going to lose some agents. And the best part about all of that is how the business evolves. And that's like you guys, everybody, oh, well, you lost so-and-so. Hey, you get a customer, you lose a customer, this and the other. You have to view it as a growth process, and people grow at different rates. Limbs grow out in different areas. And so some people, you get to the point where you're not a match anymore. And if you're not a match, they have to go on. And some people, the best part for us is somebody that's been at a franchise and the way they've been treated, or somebody that's been at an independent broker where the broker competed with them. Got 2 coming out of Dallas, have been on a team where the team lead cherry-picked all the leads. and they're a member of our lead source, and the only leads they got came in from the lead source that the broker would have gave them anyway. And so they looked up and went, wait a minute, we're getting leads we could get from the broker anyway, and we're having to give a percentage up to our team. They're not, what's our team doing for us? I looked at them and said, that's your decision, but I'd love to have you. And guess what? We're going to get them. So you're going to see faces changing out, but there's going to be two or three consistent faces at the top, me, Denise, and Stephanie. So we want to make sure that we can help you any way we can. Call me if you need me. Monday afternoon's music, Tuesday and Thursday's golf. If I don't answer, I'll get back with you. So thank you guys for logging in this morning. I hope you get everything you need out of this week. It's going to be a little rainy today, but boy, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Have a great one.